This is Gina. I'm in Dallas, Texas. I am a real estate agent. And I'll have to tell you, this title really intrigues me. I think I jumped on a little bit too late. I was just listening to the gentleman a few minutes ago and understand the savings. But if you could tell me real quick in 10, 15 seconds, the P.I.L.L method, is it by paying a month in advance, or I heard someone saying paying 15 days after the first? I just am not getting what the P.I.L.L method is, and I know you've been talking about it for a while, so just a real quick synopsis of really what it is or what it's based on. Thanks. I'm done
All,
speaking.
all right, Gina, thank you very much for that. Here's the thing. Everybody knows that they can prepay a loan, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so now, in any time you've prepaid or given the bank extra money in the same month you made your regular payment, let's say you put an extra $500 down, all right?
Okay.
Here's what didn't happen. The bank didn't send you a receipt saying, here's how much interest you saved.
Okay.
Most people have no idea how much interest they're saving.
I see.
So this is why you pay off a loan, not to pay it off so you'll have no more loan. You pay it off to save interest, because if your mortgage or any other loan you have was at 0% interest, is there any financial benefit to pay it off early if it's 0%?
Okay.
Okay, so let's just say if you knew that you prepaid $200 on a loan and it saved you $900 in interest, would that be valuable to know?
Yes.
That's what we do.
I see.
We tell them how much to pay, when to pay, which loan to attack, which month to do it in, which day of the month to do it on, so that they can save the maximum amount of interest per dollar applied. And here's what we mean by that. If you know that you're going to save a certain amount of interest, and then what you want to know is, let's say the maximum amount of interest you could save at this point is $6 in interest for every dollar you apply to principal. That would be great. But what if you did
Okay.
it wrong and ended up saving only $3? You see, if you're not tracking your interest cost or your interest savings, you'll never know if you're saving $6 per dollar or $3 per dollar. All you know is that you're saving money.
So that was my next question. How do you know the formula based on your loan and your interest of how much more to put down per month?
Here's the next question. So you never do it every month. You only do it at strategic times during the year. And we've actually put together a computer program that does all of the math, that defeats the bank's computer in the way that they're calculating interest. We calculate when to pay, how much to pay, so that you can save the maximum amount of interest per dollar.
Interesting. Okay. And this happens within so many years. That's part of the formula.
Exactly. Our average client pays off not only their 30-year mortgage, but their 30-year mortgage, their student loans, and their car loans, credit cards, in an average of 7 to 9 years on the whole shebang, because of how much interest they're saving
And
with their
this
current
is good
budget.
to do even though you have a property and you may sell it in 4 years, you're still saving interest by being part of this formula, of course, right?
Exactly. How long have you been a real estate agent?
Little over 10 years.
Okay. We were doing this back in 2008. Okay. 2008, 2009. And you've heard about what happened to people who could not sell their houses because now their houses were upside down. They had to bring cash to the table to sell their own house, correct?
Correct.
Okay, so in 4 years, what if you're gaining equity at 4 to 5 times the regular rate? Okay, so here, I'm going to put something on the screen here. So I'm putting in $300,000, okay?
Okay. Can
And
you do 400,000? Because I
I
don't
can
have a
do
lot.
I can do whatever you like. Listen, you run the show, Miss Gina.
Oh, well, that's awesome. 400,000 at 2.75 interest rate.
Okay. So here's what we're talking about. Here's our principal and interest payment, $1,632.96. We're excluding the taxes and insurance, Gina, okay?
Yes.
So I'm going to give you the basics on this right now. And remind me if we have time to tell you why having the lowest interest rate possible, once you know this, makes it harder to pay the loan off early. Okay?
Okay.
So here's what we have. We've got $400,000. And as you know, as of October 2015, we have to send out information to the borrower 3 days before closing, and they get to see their new interest rate of 2.75. They also get to see the amount of interest that they're going to pay if they keep the loan for 30 years, $187,865.60. They also get to see this number here, total interest paid as a percentage of principal, 46.966% of what they borrowed. Not 2.75, 46.966. So here's what we've got. So I'm going to give you the basics. I'm not telling you how our program works. I'm just telling you how the bank makes its money and how we can disrupt their timing. Okay? So on payment number one, let's say we made that payment in January. How much money of our payment goes to principal?
$716.
And how much goes to interest?
$916.
How fair is that?
That's not very fair.
Exactly. So when we make that payment, only the $716.29 is subtracted from what we owe, which leaves us the principal balance of $399,283.71. Follow so far?
Yes. It only deducted that $716.
Exactly. Okay. The bank took the $916. They can afford to process your payment.
Yes, that's why they're doing so well.
Exactly. That's why they're doing so well.
Just like the casinos.
There you go. All right. Okay. Can't beat the house.
Exactly.
So here's what we're looking at. $399,283.71. That's how much we owe. The bank uses this number to determine how much interest we pay on the very next line always. So on line 2, how much interest do we owe for the second payment?
$915.
Not much difference.
No.
And that money that used to go to the interest over here goes to principal over here. So your payment remains the same. So your payment remains the same. It's just that the payment and interest changes configuration each month, but the payment remains the same because of this. Follow so far?
Yes.
But Don has some valuable information that can contribute to the quality of a person's life. And it only costs you a few dollars. It's his book. Why not get that?
I'm going to go through the P.I.L.L method myself with some of my investment properties. So I'm going to link up with Don, and then I'm going to sit down with him, show him my investment portfolio, and see how I can eliminate interest.